Hey gamers, welcome back to Game Master's Dungeon. I know it's been a while. Now this is just the start of the new year, so 2018. Today's the 5th when I was recording this. Christmas is always, busy, New Year's, working and all that stuff. One thing I do want to say, I want to thank all my subscribers that have subscribed. I think I'm up to 154 or something like that. I really want to thank all of you for coming over to my channel and enjoying the content that I'm producing, and I'm hoping that what I've given you guys has helped you in your gaming lives. Any little bit of information that you could take to the game table as a dungeon master, game master, storyteller, or as a player has helped to enhance your experience and allow you to have form a deeper bond with the people that you play with, and you've had some good memories over the last year of 2017. Then I hope that 2018 is going to be an even better year. So let's talk about 2018. So like I said, it's been a while since I've done some recording. I've kind of been thinking about what it is I really want to do. I want to get back into definitely going to be doing some more game reviews. Most of the stuff that I'm probably going to review is going to be some of the older stuff that I've got. I don't have, ton of cash to throw around all this new stuff. I would love to. There's some cool new games, role-playing games out there, board games, miniatures games that I would love to get into. It's just, the affordability aspect. But maybe, if a new job happens to come my way or something like that gives me a little extra disposable income, I can start recording some of that for you guys, and we can all have great conversations and discussions regarding those new games and new systems. And it's always good to get into a new game. There's people that like, I only play this. That's fine. God, for years I only played Dungeons and Dragons. The only game I ever played. But then I was like, oh wow, the Star Wars. I started West End Games. A friend of mine. We all love Star Wars. I mean, who doesn't, really? I mean, if you're watching this and you don't, no disrespect to you. It's, it's my bag, maybe it's not yours. But we had the West End Games version, and God, we played the hell out of that game years, probably several years. We even played after West End Games was either bought out or closed or went out of business. I don't remember. I think my friend still even has those books. If I could ever get a hold of those would be a good review. I mean, it's an old game, but I loved the system. Some of that older stuff is really, really good. Obviously, the new stuff is just as good, like the new Star Wars stuff. Fantasy Flight's putting out. That's going to be on the docket for, sometime down the line. We're going to talk about that. I've got part of my gaming group is into that as well. Speaking of gaming group, the last time we talked, I think, I can't remember, but I really wasn't having the opportunity to play. Was my biggest thing. I think I said that in one of my videos. I wasn't able to play. My schedule did not line up with my gaming group, with my friends. They were playing. I was unable to. But things changed at work, and I got a promotion. Basically, one guy left, I slid into his position, and I took his shifts, so now I'm off on, the better days of the week and the good nights of the week. So right now, every other Saturday night, I'm running 2 games with the same group. So we've got some guys that can't show up until later in the evening, so I'm running a Vampire the Requiem game for a couple of hours with, the OG players of my group. Since my group has been playing, they've made new friends and brought new players into the fold, which is actually amazing. And then, so I'm running that, and then the other guys show up, and then we're going right into 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. I'm running the Curse of Strahd, a campaign book that 5th edition put out, Wizards of the Coast. It's actually really, really cool. I love Ravenloft. Always have. I played it back in 2nd edition, 3rd edition. I even played the original module back in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. The little module that you got. Just quick little adventure. Loved it. I've always loved it. And I think one of the guys, this is his first D&D game. And he's like, hey man, I'm ready. I'm like, I don't know, man. This is rough, son. You gotta be smart here in Ravenloft. You know, you're not killing rats in a cellar, and you're not fighting goblins in the caves. No, you're fighting a lot of supernatural stuff. You can drink here. I've also been turned on to Roll20.net. I don't know if any of you guys know about Roll20. I'm still kind of a novice at it, but I'm using the Roll20 like exclusively for my Vampire the Requiem. Creating all my handouts and my characters and doing my maps, and everyone brings their tablets or their computers to it. You know, some people will be like, hey, why don't you just use pen and paper? I mean, pen and paper is great. Love it. Did it for years, but technology nowadays is advanced to the point where you can still use your pen and paper alongside your technological tools. Well, this is great. So now I don't have to hand draw maps, or I don't have to give as much, detail about the interior of a room or the size of a room. I can just, boom, I can bring the map up, slide everybody over to the map, and they can see the map. They can see exactly where they are. Everyone's got their own little individual tokens. I use the dynamic lighting, so, if there's a wall, they can't see through the wall. They can't move their tokens through the wall. Like if I say I got an encounter in the opposing room, they have to go over and actually, okay, I'm going to open the door. Okay, then I can move my little marker to open the door, and they go in there, boom, there's the encounter. It's a fantastic tool. That's one of the things on the docket for later on. I want to talk more about Roll20. Maybe when I become a little more experienced with it. Like I said, I'm still a bit of a novice, a bit of a noob. I've got a pretty good handle on it, but it also allows me to, instead of having to handwrite all my notes about all these characters, I do it all in these little notes, these little handouts that I can create in Roll20, or I can add notes to characters. There's like the chat system that you can use, which is really great. If you want us to talk specifically to another player without everyone else hearing. It's a really good tool, so I definitely suggest you guys check that out. So, going forward, I also would like to start maybe a live stream. I don't know. I'm in the process of researching, YouTubing, watching videos about live streaming, seeing if my computer can handle it. I would love to, live stream, chat, maybe Twitch, YouTube, whatever. You guys can all come over to the live stream, and you can ask questions. I'll ask you guys questions, get your feedback. We can just have one big old, round table talk about, whatever kind of game or system, or, something specific about a certain game that we want to talk about. And, run it for an hour or two, maybe once a week. If you guys are interested in that, I would love some feedback, down in the comments. Let me know if that'd be something that you would be interested in coming to. Obviously, if nobody's interested in joining a live chat with me, I won't do it. I'll stick with just, this recorded content like this, and, dispense the information that way. But live streaming, I've been watching a lot of live streaming stuff over the last year, and I found that it's a really good way. You can ask questions in the comments, like one of my subscribers and I were talking yesterday about Mutants and Masterminds, character creation, that kind of stuff, and it's, he writes a message, and then I look up, make sure I got all my information, checking all my P's and Q's, and then I send him back. But in the live stream, he could be like, hey, how do I make a Superman type character? Then we could go into a conversation, and as all these other people can throw in their sense, then we can, as a group, we can come up with a really good character concept. That's something that I would like to do, obviously, if there's interest in it. One of the other things I would like to do here in 2018, I would like to use Roll20 to run a game. Really, because I love Vampire the Masquerade. I played that since first edition as well. No, sorry. Second edition is just coming out. I got into it at second edition. A friend of mine got the book. He had the first edition book, but some of us were kind of young and we didn't really understand. Second edition came out, and he was like, oh yeah, okay, cool, we'll play. Played that. So many memories of that game. I've even run some games with, my group years ago, and in this game that we're running now, like, they're talking about, oh, you remember that last game? Years ago when you did this, or remember this character? That's what I like. That's the kind of stuff, the memories that I like to make with those players. And I would like to have an experience like that with you, my subscribers. So I would want to run on Roll20, once a week for several hours on a, afternoon or night. Run a game, Roll20, Vampire the Masquerade, probably 4 players at most. Maybe 5. It really all depends. If anyone is interested in doing something like that, leave a comment below. Obviously, if I get enough interest, at least 5, 10 people that are interested, I will work up, a synopsis of the game and the setting and the mood and the theme. My house rules, if I'm going to have any, and I'll send those, email messages, however you'd like to receive them. And basically, like, interview process, pick the, I'll talk with everyone and that's interested and pick the best. Well, Brian, why can't we all just play? Well, if 20 people want to play, you can't really want to run a game of 20 people. But maybe it might be something quick, maybe several sessions. It's like a short little story, and then I could run another game in the same setting, in the same theme, at the same time in the game with another group. I don't know. It's one of those things that's going to evolve. Obviously, I'm just speculating that people are going to be interested and want to actually be a player in a game that I'm going to run. Hopefully you guys that are coming here are looking for advice, and you're like, oh wow, cool. I'd like to get in a game with Brian and see how he runs things and use it as a learning experience, and let's just have a great time. All right, now let's I'm going to talk about some of the things I've been working on since I really put out my last video. Obviously Warhammer 40k is a big part of my life, part of my hobby. I build, paint. I've started Blood Angel Army. Most of it's on the desk downstairs in the dungeon, in several varying degrees of painted. I'm working to get 2,000, 2,500 point list up and running. A friend of mine is going to go to the LVO, the Las Vegas Open. He wanted me to go, but I'm not going to be ready. I didn't play a whole lot during the year, just because my work schedule was just, I worked at all the good times of the week and was off on all the bad times where nobody was doing anything. So I was kind of like, well, I'll just build and I'll paint, read, research some stuff. This is where I've, these the role-playing games that I've been running with my game group. This is where some of the, that's when these ideas kind of, took fruition. Oh, this would be great, this would be great. If I ever am able to play with my friends again, I want to do this, and I want to do that. And look where I ended up. So, things I want to do now, some of it could come to fruition. Other stuff may never happen. At least this year, or right now, who knows. But really, that's just wanted to do a quick video, give you an update of kind of where I'm at and kind of the direction I want to go. If there's other ideas you would like to see from me, what you would like to see me do, things you would like for me to talk about, I'm working on a list of things that I do want to cover. More character creation for Mutants and Masterminds seems like be like a really popular topic when it comes to character creation, and I can understand why. The game is, I don't want to say, what is a good word? Bloated? I love the game, but sometimes you've got to have like a bachelor's degree in math or other things to really kind of comprehend, and I really want to chop that up and make it a little more digestible chunks for you guys. Watching an experienced player like myself create a character, now, am I going to get it 100% right every single time? No. Nobody ever does. But can I create a character that's fleshed out? Is it just numbers on the paper, which I don't like? I want a character. I want someone that I can play, that when I play this character, I suspend disbelief and I go into another world. I escape what's going on in my life for a few hours. That's what I want. I don't just want numbers on paper and I just roll dice and I take away damage counters. If I want to do that, I'll play a variety of board games. Speaking of board games, I have a lot of board games. Would you guys like to see some reviews on board games? If so, leave a comment below and I'll take a look. Like I said, some of the board games are kind of expensive. If you throw out a name of a board game that I don't have, maybe someday I might be able to get a hold of that, but I've got some pretty cool ones, like Mansions of Madness. I've got some of the 40K board games like Relic, Forgotten Stars? Is that what it's called? I can't remember. It's a big box. Fantasy Flight game. Fantasy Flight puts out amazing products. If people have not, fallen in love with the stuff that Fantasy Flight puts out, you should probably check all that out. Well, I'm going to leave it here. So thanks again for coming back and watching. I hope 2017 was a great year for you guys in your personal life, your hobby life, your work life. I hope everything has gone well. If things haven't, you have my sympathies, and I hope that this year is going to be a better year for you, for me, and for everyone. Let's just get out there and make the best of it and have a good time. So, alright gamers, until next time when I see you in the dungeon, I'm Brian, your game master, and happy gaming.